God. And first southern turkey, that is awesome. Are you kidding me? How many beards is that? 6 beards. After hunting turkeys down south and in the Midwest for the better part of 5 weeks, I was excited to head back home and take a trip to hunt for my personal favorite subspecies, the Merriams. And my plan is to head deep into public land for a backcountry turkey hunt. While driving across the prairie to my destination, it was striking to see just how much wildlife there is to photograph on the open plains, and how little green vegetation there is on the landscape compared to where I just come from. However, the spring rituals are still well underway, and as I neared my destination, I was greeted by a sight that will get any turkey hunter's blood pumping. Holy cow, look at this. There's turkeys everywhere. Big old strutter right here. Oh my gosh. There's even more up higher. 2 more strutters up there. This isn't close to public land, is it? There's no way. Nope. Could do some door knocking though, because there are a bunch of turkeys in this spot. There's about 7 or 8 jakes and 3 longbeards here. There's a jake trying to cross the fence right here. Not having much luck. Yeah, fences are tough, aren't they, buddy? There you go. And the show goes on. There's a longbeard that's strutting around a hen that looks like she's ready to breed. Uh-oh. Comes another gobbler. Ooh, this could get interesting. Oh yeah. Oh, we got a fight coming here. Holy cow. Man, that is incredible how loud that is when they smack each other with their wings. I mean, they are going at it. Wow. Yeah, they're wrapped up neck and neck now. Good grief, look at that, they're pushing each other up the hill. Wow, that is one of the most intense turkey fights I've ever seen. Holy cow. I'm glad I hung around a little bit longer to watch that. I mean, what a show this morning. I've been here for 45 minutes now. I could still hear them back up in there fighting, hear wings flapping, and who knows how long that battle is gonna go on. All right, I better get onto my hunting spot here. Got a little ways to go yet. Probably get there about midday. Incredible start to this trip, and who knows what else I'm gonna get into along the way. All right, it's midday right now. It's been a heck of a day so far. Had a lot of fun this morning. Got to film that epic turkey fight. Going into a new spot, and my plan is to push back in about 3 to 4 miles into this public piece. There's a couple creek drainages way in the back that I'm interested in checking out. And ultimately, these are the kinds of spots that I really like to hunt, where you can just get on foot and go a long ways. You know, I can get in and backpack hunt, take camp with me, you know, get back in 2, 3, 4 miles, and just spend a few days back in an area hunting, you know, hopefully getting away from a lot of the pressure that occurs around the access points. So that's really what I'm looking for. Not gonna take camp with me tonight. I'm gonna scout my way into this spot, and just see, you know, first of all, see if there's any turkeys or turkey sign back in this area. And also I need to make sure that there's a water source back in there that I can filter from. So I'm really excited about it. These are the kinds of spots and scenarios that I really enjoy hunting. Well, so far this dirt path is showing a fair amount of boot prints and no turkey tracks yet. So I would imagine a lot of the close stuff has been hunted here already, so that's why I'm just gonna push farther back in. Well, I've been hiking for about an hour and a half right now, and I've made it about 2.75 miles, and finally just came across the first turkey sign. There's a bunch of tracks in this mud spot right here. It's dried up, but up on top there's really not a whole lot that's green. There's not much food up there, but down on these bottoms it's a little bit greener. Got oak trees. It's a good sign right there. Had to walk a long ways to find a turkey track, but droppings right there. Feather just right back there is where I found those tracks. So all of a sudden I've just found a bunch of turkey sign right in here. It's pretty dry, it's not real recent, but man, I'm fired up now. Walked over 2.5 miles and didn't see any sign, and all of a sudden I got tracks, droppings, feathers all right here down in this creek bottom. Hen droppings right there. Kind of has that popcorn shape as opposed to gobbler droppings that are more J-shaped. I really like the way that this creek bottom lays out with this old roadway. I'm just able to walk along it real quietly. And I'm going about every 50 to 75 yards and stopping and looking, listening, and calling. So with it being windy, my call's not going very far. And then also just the way the terrain lays out, there's a lot of little roll here and there. There's a lot of thick cover to where it's about right. About every 50 to 100 yards, you're starting to see into different cover. But the wind is starting to settle down a little bit now. Should settle even more towards sunset. But man, with this amount of sign, it seems like I should see or hear something at some point here. There we go. Gobbler poop, and that is fresh. came out of that creek bottom, been protected by the wind, I've been able to call as I worked my way down through the bottom, and then came up over here, found a fresh pile of gobbler droppings, a little bit more open country here, creek bottom with some hardwoods. I'm gonna work my way out to the edge here and just glass and see if I can get eyes on them, but there's obviously been a bird in here recently, gobbler in here recently. Sat down here for a minute on the edge of this open, found that fresh gobbler dropping just right over the rise from me here on the roadway. It leads out into this open. There's a little hardwood creek bottom out in front of me. So you got open ground, oaks and pines, kind of a mix of habitat that all comes together right here. So figured it'd be a good spot to sit down for a little bit. I'll try calling if the wind lets up, but also I'm just glassing out here to see if there's any turkeys that are down in that creek bottom or just working through this little oak flat down below me here. But it feels like I'm getting back in here with them now. Just give it a few minutes here and see if I can see anything. And then just gonna keep on moving because there's another open spot like this just up and over a saddle on the other side of this ridge. Just got back into this little pocket right here. A little saddle in the terrain. I'm gonna go up and over, and it's more open ground on the other side. Go glass and call into that, and then eventually work my way up and get up on top. And that's that creek bottom I went through on the other side. I'll just get up on top and listen, and hopefully put something to roost tonight. But awesome looking spot back in here. I really like this. The wind is dying down here. I better call while I can. I'm protected back in this little pocket here. Jeez, right there. That's right where I was. He's within 100 yards easy. Unbelievable. First turkey with a new gun. Oh yeah, look at that. Beautiful Merriam's gobbler. Beautiful coloration in that tail fan. Oh man. Love it. Absolutely love it. Thank you, old boy. That was fun and quite unexpected. That is just crazy. This thing must have, I mean, he almost must follow behind me. Because like I said, I sat just right over here for about a half hour, right there. That roadway that I came out on where I found that fresh gobbler dropping is just 60, 70 yards away. Sat up here, didn't see or hear anything. And then I wanted to go check one more spot and then get up on a high point to listen for this evening. And this thing hammers right behind me. And I had just enough time, had a really good height I was able to get into, pop into real quick. Yeah, right there. I'll have to go back and look at it. That's a really good hide. 41 yards. Down right there. Unbelievable. That is awesome. I mean, how far did I go to get this thing? 4.31 miles. Like I said, it took 2.5 miles before I got back in and actually started getting into any sign at all. Then found that fresh gobbler dropping on that roadway right there. I mean, it just all came together back here. What a beautiful bird. I love these Merriams, just that snow white back feathers in this tail fan. This was a dynamite setup right here. Actually, I think I filmed in between these two trees right there, and I shot right through here, but I think with the wind and then having these trees in front of me and this oak tree behind me, a good backdrop, I was able to get away with it. But I knew he was going to be coming quick, but it was almost panic mode. I'd got the camera set up, and then I looked up and there he was right there. Got zoomed in on him and was able to, had my gun, I think I had my gun on this side of the camera. I mean, it was all happening so fast that I had to bring the camera up and over the tripod. But again, with all this covered and with the wind cover, I was able to get away with it. Whew, that was fun. That was awesome. I've got a heck of a hike out now. And nothing like a Merriam's tail fan backlit by the setting sun. Man, that was just awesome. Love it. What a fun hunt today. It's almost a little bit bittersweet. I was really looking forward to hunting this spot for the next couple of days here, or at least give it a real good go tomorrow after finding all that sign back in here, and after finding that water source today, knowing that there was standing water back in here that I could get to and camp back in here. It's 2 years in a row now that I've had plans to backpack camp and got really fortunate, really lucky to tag out before I got the chance to camp out. But like I talked about earlier, this is exactly the kind of hunt that I was looking for, is to put a lot of miles on foot, get back into an area, and if it worked out, camp. But if anything, just get a long ways back from an access point. And this is what I really love to do, is just love to roam, to learn new areas. As you saw earlier, it took 2.5 miles of hiking before I finally got back in and started finding some sign. And then once I got down into this creek bottom, I figured this is where I would start to find them. I hate to leave, but I guess at some point I got to get back to the truck, get out of here. Not an overly big or heavy gobbler, pretty as can be, but should fit nicely in the bird bag. That way I can walk out hands free, because that's going to be a long walk. That much I know. Put my necessities bag back in here, toilet paper, first aid kit, water filter. That's honestly, the toilet paper and the water filter may be the two most important things to carry. Especially on hunts like this where you get way back in somewhere. You never know what can happen, to where even though I carry 3 liters of water with me, you never know when you might get in a situation where you need to filter more. I mean, it's just so easy and light to carry that that goes with me everywhere I go. We use the Sawyer brand water filter, and they work great. I think he's gonna fit. Gonna need my headlamp. I'll be walking in the dark for quite a ways. Well, he fits nicely in the bird bag on the M2. Now I've got about 4 miles out. Be a nice long walk in the dark here. So I'm walking out here and just found fresh gobbler droppings, and these were not here when I walked down this road. I know I would have seen that. So my guess is that he came out of this creek bottom, followed this roadway, and then was going on out, and that's when I struck him. But he basically was coming in behind me, and that's why I ended up setting up where I did and just hanging out and spending some time in that area. So when you find fresh sign like that, you know that's a good spot to spend some time, to slow down, be patient, do some calling there. Just made it back to the truck. Just started to open up his crop here just out of curiosity to see what these birds are eating. Looks like a crop full of grass. Not sure what that is. That actually looks like a dandelion. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Yep, almost like a grub. Yeah, kind of all the same stuff. But now I'm gonna enjoy a warm meal, get some sleep, and head to a different spot tomorrow. Nothing like a late night jet boil meal with a gobbler in the back of the truck.